Right now, a concession just under 2 weeks after the election. The reason for the delay and what is next for the Republican Senate challenger.
Also, discussions continue on the future of Wisconsin's top election official. The arguments heard at the state Supreme Court today.
And this Saturday marks the first day of gun deer season. Tips from experts to keep you and your fellow hunters safe when heading into the brush. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And tonight at 5, we are learning more information about Wisconsin's U.S. Senate race. Eric Hovde has officially conceded.
He did so through a 6-minute-long video posted on X, and our Merrill Hubbard is here to break this down for us. Merrill?
Yeah, Susan, Armand, it's time to move on, was Eric Hovde's caption to his video on X. This post comes almost 2 weeks after Election Day, where in Wisconsin, Senator Tammy Baldwin received 29,000 more votes than Hovde. The final count came in the morning after Election Day, when the last absentee ballots were reported in Milwaukee around 4 a.m.
The results from election night were disappointing.
Before announcing that he accepted defeat, Hovde questioned the ballot counts in Milwaukee, raising concerns about the legitimacy of the vote. These are claims that election workers saw in 2020, claims that were widely disproven.
Particularly in light of the last-minute absentee ballots that were dropped in Milwaukee at 4 a.m., flipping the outcome. There are many troubling issues around these absentee ballots and their timing.
He alludes that the absentee ballots that get reported late into the night lacked integrity, and he says that a recount would not do anything to change that.
A request for a recount would serve no purpose because you will just be recounting the same ballots regardless of their integrity. As a result, and my desire to not add to political strife through a contentious recount, I've decided to concede the election.
However, Ann Jacobs, chair of the Wisconsin Elections Commission, says that Hovde's claims are a nod to election conspiracies.
The ballots that were counted are real ballots. So I have no idea what he's talking about, but it sounds like sort of a nod towards the 2020 conspiracy theories about fake ballots.
She explains that Milwaukee County has a central counting location where all ballots in the county go to one place to be recorded.
One thing that's important to understand is that the ballots being counted have all been submitted prior to the deadline of 8 p.m. So they are rightful ballots submitted by lawful voters in the proper form. It just takes a while after 8 o'clock to process all the late arriving ballots. And by late arriving, I mean those very close to 8 p.m.
On Election Day, the city of Milwaukee had more than 100,000 absentee ballots to count. Hovde could have requested a recount because the margin of defeat was less than 1 percentage point, but he would have to pay for it himself.
It would have been very unusual for a candidate to make up 29,000 votes. There would have had to have been a profound error somewhere in the calculations, and we certainly didn't see that.
Hovde says that he will be taking a break from politics to return to his business and foundation. Some Republicans have speculated that he would run for governor in 2026.
Merrill, thank you. At the state capitol today, the case that will determine whether or not Wisconsin Elections Commission's administrator, Megan Wolf, can stay in her position.
Our Maddie Heimsch is here with the oral arguments both sides brought forth in the courtroom. Maddie?
Yeah, so this is just the latest in the political power struggle with Megan Wolf's status as elections administrator. Now, her 4-year term as administrator has expired, but a Dane County Circuit Court judge ruled in January that she's legitimate to continue serving in what's called a holdover appointment. But with that case appealed, it's now up to the state's Supreme Court to make the final ruling.
Does that sound like the rule of law to you?
Justices had pointed questions for the attorney representing the Republican-controlled legislature, who argued that Wolf be ousted from the commission. Many of them referring back to a case they heard in 2022 that allowed Fred Prane, former head of the Wisconsin Natural Resources Board, to hold on to his chair past his term.
6 of the 7 of us sat in this courtroom 2 years ago when your client insisted that Fred Prane should be able to retain his position on the DNR board even though his 6-year term had expired, and your client won. This is a case of careful what you wish for, isn't it?
Prane was a Scott Walker appointee.
It seems to me this has little to do with what the law actually says and far more to do with who is in these positions.
Attorney Misha Saitlin questioned back.
We do not dispute that Administrator Wolf is currently the lawful holdover.
Claiming that the issue is not with Wolf's post-term status.
Can 3 commissioners essentially cut the Senate out entirely forever?
But with the commission's arguable duty of sending over an appointment for the Senate's confirmation, which 3 commissioners abstained from doing.
Here we have 3 essentially bureaucrats who have no constitutional status holding the chief election officer appointment hostage away from the people. This is night and day from Prane.
The attorney for the Elections Commission, in favor of allowing Wolf to serve her holdover appointment, argues that the commissioner's decision to abstain was one of stability.
That reflects a preference in closed cases for stability and consistency over acting potentially precipitously or in response to shifting political pressures.
Also arguing in the fight for Wolf to stay in her role that stability is an important factor for the seat of an elections official, along with the claim that Wolf is legally within her right to hold the seat. The state's high court should make their final ruling on the case within a couple months.
Maddie, thank you. Let's turn now to our first sworn forecast. Meteorologist Kelly Slifka out on the weather patio, staying dry out there, Kelly?
Trying to, that is for sure. The rain really picked up now here on the south side of Madison as we've got a little bit moderate rain moving through. This is not good for the rush hour, so if you're going to be traveling about, make sure you plan ahead because you see these yellows basically hitting me right now down toward Verona, Fitchburg, over there toward Cottage Grove, seeing some of that moderate rain as well. All this is lifting up to the north and east, and there's still quite a bit of rain where this is coming from. Now, there is a little bit of a break once you get into Iowa and Illinois. I don't really know if we'll get much of a break, but there might be a brief period where we will see a little bit of a break, but it'll come right back at us. So light to moderate rain, that'll continue pretty much all night long. So we are going to continue to add up some totals. The winds have really picked up as well out of the east and southeast, up there at 15 to 20 miles per hour. And we've actually got a warm front pushing through, but we are looking at about 1 to 2 inches total overnight. We could see our first snowflakes of the season here in the Madison area. They'll be coming in on Wednesday. And I tell you what, it's going to remain quite active as we go into Thanksgiving week. So you want to stay abreast for that forecast. But right now we're at 52 in Madison with the rain coming down, the east to southeast wind at 20 miles per hour. So a drippy, dreary evening. But believe it or not, these temperatures are actually going to continue to climb as a warm front pushes through. And we'll see these rains, maybe even a rumble of thunder as this warm front pushes through, as temperatures continue to climb into the upper 50s. We'll see how much rain we've got and how much more we can expect coming up.
All right, Kelly, thank you. A man is recovering after a fire at a beaver dam storage facility Friday night. Fire Captain Jack Jadsick says that the fire happened just after 9 on North Center Street, just south of the Beaver Dam Animal Clinic. Officials responded to the facility for reports of multiple units on fire and a man who had been burned. Captain Jadsick said that there was a lack of fire stops in the building, causing the fire to spread quickly. The man was taken to a nearby hospital with minor burns.
And a Madison resident is recovering tonight after food left unattended on the stove caused a fire. Crews were called to East Mifflin Street, just 2 blocks northeast of Breeze-Stevens Field yesterday afternoon around 3. Firefighters say after several unanswered knocks on the door, they forced entry and found someone sleeping in the smoke-filled apartment. That person was taken to a nearby hospital. There is no word on their condition.
A man charged in the death of a 3-year-old boy under his care in Wisconsin is pleading not guilty. Jesse Vang was caring for his girlfriend's son, Elijah Vu, when he reported him missing in February. The child's remains were discovered in September, just miles from the couple's Two Rivers apartment. Charges include repeated acts of physically abusing a child, causing death. Prosecutors say the boy's mother placed Elijah with Vang for disciplinary reasons. She also faces charges related to this case.
The DNR is giving the city of Baraboo a grant to investigate environmental conditions at a former dairy manufacturing site. The location is on Vine Street on the Baraboo River and once was home to IAM Dairy. Before that, it housed a foundry and a machine shop. Baraboo has plans to convert the site into a new park. However, sites near the location have been proven to be contaminated.
With hunting season going into full swing this weekend, Gunderson Health Systems says emergency rooms are seeing a growing number of deer hunters who've fallen. The CDC says that falls are the #1 non-fatal injury for hunters and make up about 20% of all hunting-related injuries. Experts say hunters should be mindful of their surroundings as they walk to their tree stand or other hunting sports. That's especially true for young people who may not have as much experience in the field.
Young hunters or new hunters have recently probably been through hunter safety course, so it's always a good idea to talk to them about what they learned, and it might be a good refresher for us as parents as well to kind of hear those things again.
Anderson adds that first aid kits should be included in your pack, spare dry clothes, along with ear and eye protection.
A massive recall of organic carrots and baby carrots sold at grocery stores around the country was issued by a California grower after a possible outbreak of E. coli has already killed one person. Grimway Farms issued the recall Saturday after nearly 40 cases were recorded in 18 states. At least 15 people were hospitalized and one person has died. The carrots were sold at Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's. 5 people were reported sick in Michigan and 1 in Minnesota, but so far no cases have been reported in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul, along with a bipartisan coalition of 46 state attorneys general, are calling for the FCC to do more to fight robocalls. Last year, 17,000 Wisconsinites reported unwanted robocalls to phone numbers listed in the National Do Not Call Registry. The coalition is asking the FCC to improve their robocall mitigation database by setting clear deadlines for providers, validating submissions, and blocking some providers from accessing U.S. phone networks.
You're taking a live look at the Capitol tonight. It's a little hazy there with the rain falling down downtown. Lawmakers are marking the start of National Apprenticeship Week. Wisconsin has a record high number of registered apprentices. More than 17,000 are participating in a state program to earn while they learn. This marks the 3rd consecutive year that Wisconsin's registered apprenticeship program has reached an all-time record in the program's 112-year history.
A heads up, Television Wisconsin is your home for 5 must-see matchups for the Milwaukee Bucks this season. You can watch the Bucks play the Atlanta Hawks at 7 on December 7th, the San Antonio Spurs at 7 on January 31st, the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7 on February 12th, the Dallas Mavericks at 7:30 on March 1st, and the Denver Nuggets at 8 on March 26th.
That's exciting, right here on Channel 3.
Yep, there we go. And coming up, the United States has given Ukraine clearance to use long-range missiles, what that means for the conflict and global security.
And the Biden administration asks Congress for $100 billion to rebuild communities hit hard by hurricanes. We'll have that story when we come back. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 55 points. The NASDAQ was up 111. The S&P 500 gained 23. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
I can honestly say that Cardinal has never let me down.
I definitely recommend Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning because of the professionalism.
Cardinal will always be my first call for anything that Cardinal does.
I think we're going to continue to use Cardinal for a long time.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sorry, I'm just a bit uncomfortable.
It's okay. What's troubling you?
It's my mattress. It's not comfortable.
It's a good thing you came to Slumberland. As your sleep counselor, I'll help you find the best mattress to solve your sleep issues.
Amazing. I could get used to this.
It's the Black Friday mattress sale at Slumberland. Up to 60% off list. Or save up to $800 on select adjustable mattress sets. Visit Slumberland. Stop stressing and start sleeping.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Maddie has heart failure, and it can't be cured. Our neighbor is using a Grace, so I asked Maddie's doctor about them. Turns out, they can help us. They're already managing Maddie's breathing trouble better. A Grace, authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont it. You want some ice time, a nice time, so good you posted twice time. You want some cheer? Now I'll show you where you gotta be. Tell you who you gotta see. Ooh, it's gonna make you smile. You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont.
Enjoy the magic of the North Pole, just east of O'Hare, with miles of memories waiting to be made. To Rosemont it your way, start at rosemont.com.
Rosemont it.
The best call I ever made was to Gruber Law Offices.
It was one call. They took care of me, and they'll be there for you.
You made that one call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, powered by News 3 Now.
In 2011, Wisconsin's Act 10 law brought unprecedented protests to our state capital. But 4 months ago, the pendulum swung back. I'll show you how Act 10's repeal could open a new path forward for state workers. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
This breaking news just into our newsroom. Former Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy has been nominated to serve as President-elect Trump's transportation secretary. Duffy started his career as the district attorney in Ashland and was later elected to the House of Representatives for Wisconsin's 7th district. In a press release from President-elect Trump, he says Duffy will, quote, prioritize excellence, competence, competitiveness, and beauty when rebuilding America's highways, tunnels, bridges, and airports.
The Biden administration is urging Congress to quickly pass a massive disaster relief spending bill. Nearly half of the roughly $100 billion requested will go to FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund. The bill also includes funding for other agencies, including the Departments of Agriculture, Transportation, and the Small Business Administration. Congressional leadership must now decide whether to take up the request as a standalone bill or package with the end-of-year spending bill.
Tomorrow marks 1,000 days since Russia invaded Ukraine, and the war will reach the 3-year mark in February.
Now, the Biden administration has greenlit a major policy shift in how Ukraine uses ballistic missiles. It comes as North Korean troops joined the fight by joining Russian forces. Torian Small is following the situation from the White House.
President Biden is using his final weeks in office to okay Ukraine's use of U.S. ballistic missiles for attacks inside Russia. The U.S. supplied Ukraine with the Army tactical missile system last year, which can strike targets up to 190 miles away. The White House had concerns using the weapons on targets in Russia would escalate the war. But now Biden is approving their use across the border.
The United States strongly supports Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Recently, 11,000 North Korean troops joined Russian forces, a move experts say pushed the Biden administration to act.
The increased escalation by Putin, bringing in North Korean troops, really solidifying this as a global conflict with troops from North Korea fighting in Europe. I think that was the last straw for the Biden administration.
In his nightly video address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the longer-range missiles will speak for themselves. Time should be invested not to talk to someone in Moscow, but to force Russia to end the war, he said. His message came shortly after Russia launched one of its largest attacks in months on Ukrainian civilians, killing at least 11 and injuring dozens in Odessa. Volunteers in Kyiv have created a massive memorial to mark 1,000 days of war, each blue and yellow flag honoring a soldier who died fighting the Russian invaders. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Rain falling steadily here on the west side of Madison. That's not keeping Kelly Slifka off the patio. You're a hardy guy, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm out here, and I was going to say enjoying the weather, but not really. My feet are getting wet. Everything else is getting wet as well, but at least I guess my bald head is still dry. We are looking at some rainfall totals that have been really impressive, especially on the south side of Madison. Some locations picking up nearly 1/2 of an inch of rain. You go further to the north, about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch of rain. So we'll continue to add up these totals. You can see this yellow band of rain that's moving right through Madison. That's indicating some moderate rain. So folks on the belt line, watch out. The travel is a little bit slow because of this heavy rain coming down, not only reducing visibilities, but also ponding of water. So allow a little extra time if you are going to be traveling here during the rush hour. There is a little bit of a breakdown in the south, and that's because actually a warm front's going to push through over the next couple of hours. So our temperatures are actually going to continue to rise, and the steady rain that we have now might become a little bit more scattered. It's not going to stop by any means, but we are looking at maybe a little bit of a break here over the next couple of hours. Won't last real long. But here's that warm front. This storm system way down in the south, just moving out of Oklahoma into Kansas. So that's what's sending all the moisture our way. But it looks like that rain will be with us all night long. But by the time tomorrow morning rolls around, you may wake up to some scattered showers in the morning, but I think that rain chance will diminish quite a bit in the afternoon, and we may actually see a peak or two of sun later in the afternoon. Another inch or so of rain expected overnight tonight, and as we get some colder air wrapping in on the backside of the storm system, it's not in any hurry to move on out of here. Can't rule out a little bit of light snow. We're not expecting any accumulation, but it could be the first snowflakes of the season here in the Madison area. May get a little bit of a break headed into the weekend, but then it looks like it's going to be another active week next week. So we'll look at the rain. Occasionally we'll see some of this moderate rain. We'll once again get a little bit of a break around 7, 8, up toward about 9 o'clock. Then another wave. Some moderate rain coming through toward 11 o'clock, midnight hour. You can see that broad area of yellow, even some oranges indicating some moderate rain passing through. This will start to lighten up tomorrow morning, but I wouldn't doubt even in the morning hours. May see a little bit of drizzle. Noticing temperatures are actually warmer than where we're at now because the temperature's rising overnight. Then most of the rain over with pretty quickly in the morning. And there you can see some clearing from Madison areas to the west as we go into the afternoon hours. And another additional, maybe 1/4 to as much as an inch of rain, especially areas to the west. Looks like the heaviest rain. We got to deal with the wind as well. They'll be gusty all night long, up there at 15, 25 miles per hour. And even tomorrow afternoon, they'll come down a little bit, but still noticeable. Really not until later tomorrow afternoon. So this is a large storm system. On the back side of it, we will actually see enough cold air that we can't rule out our first few snowflakes. There might be some accumulation toward Milwaukee as they get a little bit of lake-enhanced snow. 47 in the Dalles, 52 in Madison, 54 in Janesville. Yeah, pretty unsettled the next several days with that scattered snow showers, maybe mixed with a little bit of light rain here and there Wednesday and Thursday. No accumulation. Quiet Friday and Saturday before our next system moves in. Looks like it could be kind of a wet, mainly rain for us on Tuesday, but some areas to the north could be talking about some pretty significant snows.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for coming and sharing this time with the family.
Stay strong for Grandpa. We'll see you at the field.
When you leave this earth, don't leave any regrets. Crest Funeral and Cremation Services helped us make sure Grandpa's never forgotten. We are Crest Funeral and Cremation Services because we know your memories matter.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
Make anything possible because you have a reliable connection that puts everything within reach. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Come on, guys, smile. Hi, Mom.
Guess who's home? Okay, everyone smile.
Enjoy a taste of Wisconsin with Madison Magazine. Dig into local cookbooks that celebrate our culinary community and history. And meet two innovators who've helped us create memories through cooking. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now. And the winner is Madison Magazine. Proud to earn 11 Milwaukee Press Club Awards for excellence in Wisconsin journalism. And the top prize for civic journalism in this year's National City and Regional Magazine Awards.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
In Virginia, an infamous motorcycle club is helping out with holiday food collections.
Now, the Hells Angels are better known for their historical involvement in organized crime and violence. But as reporter Angela Bowen finds, they're trying to change their reputation a little bit. Community comes first for these writers.
I'm Angela Bohan in Chesapeake, where the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is collecting food for the Mayflower Marathon, and they've made it very simple for you to help.
Thank you.
So to actually see it all come together is very rewarding for all of us.
The Hells Angels have been doing this for about a dozen years. They rely on the generosity of the community, and they give up their weekends leading up to Thanksgiving to collect all the food.
Each year from then to now has been getting better and better. We've never had a decline, which is an amazing thing.
Some of their collections have already gone to the warehouse of the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia and the Eastern Shore. We caught up with crews recently making this delivery, and they're back at it. These guys are handing out suggested shopping lists.
It's not only Thanksgiving food or holiday food, as people may think.
The Hells Angels, along with other bike clubs, will continue collecting right up until the Mayflower Marathon, hosted by FM 99 and 106.9 The Fox. And the grand delivery is quite a sight to see.
So it's really powerful coming down the road with 300 to 400 to 500 bikers behind you, 7 tractor trailers worth of food, and you know everybody came together to do that. And didn't have to.
It's your last chance. Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day. Transform your home with an 11% rebate on new Mastercraft doors. Build your dream bathroom and save on luxury tubs and showers. Customize your kitchen and get an 11% rebate on Clearview cabinetry. Or go even bigger and get an 11% rebate on a new garage. Don't miss out. There's no limit to what you can save. Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Karen's about to retire. Here's what's going into her retirement.
There's us. She raised us on our own.
10 years as my roller derby wife.
3 schools she's opened.
She's a mother.
I think we turned out all right.
She's a friend.
Our mothers could tell stories.
She's a teacher.
She may be retiring, but she's not done.
I'm never gonna stop. Retirement is the sum of your life's work. Now what? Get income for life and protect your life's work with Prudential.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel, the house that angels built.
I've been a motorcyclist for a little over 20 years now. I always wanted to have a motorcycle my whole life, and dashing helps me support that hobby. I love the flexibility of dashing. I love the connections I make. Dashing lets me do what I want, when I want. I'm my own boss now. If dashers can maintain their freedom, flexibility, and independence, and have access to benefits, that would really be the best of both worlds. Portable benefits would help me cover medical costs, dental, vision. That would be fantastic.
Candy Cloud Company. Your drink, your way. Made to order. So many choices. All for you. Whatever your mood. Boba, coffee, shakes, iced, or hot. Get the good stuff. Candy Cloud Company, Greenway Station, Middleton.
Score the lowest prices of the year right now at Brothers Main's Black Friday sale. You won't find lower prices anywhere. And enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Main's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
More rain ahead tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be raining pretty much all night long. One of those nights just to stay inside. Could pick up another inch of rain, maybe a flurry or two Wednesday and Thursday. Better chances looks like next week. Kind of unsettled next week.
All right, CBS Evening News is next. Armand and I will see you back here at 6.